Good morning.
Our scripture reading today is in Psalm 126 on page 740 and is celebrating the harvest. It seemed like a dream when the Lord was back to the city of Zion. We celebrated with laughter and joyful songs. In foreign nations it was said, "The Lord has worked miracles for his people." And so we celebrated because the Lord had indeed worked miracles for us. Our Lord, we ask you to bless our people again and let us be like streams in the southern desert. We cried as we went out to plant our seeds. Now let us celebrate as we bring in the crops. We cried on the way to plant our seeds, but we will celebrate and shout as we bring in the crops.
If you don't fix that, we're going to blow a speaker.
I hope it's not my mic.
No, you're going to blow a speaker.
I don't know about your experience, but in my everyday life, particularly when I go to school and talk to other adults, not the kids, but the adults, I get a lot of bah humbug. I mean, have you experienced that in your life from other people? Oh, gee, we have to put up with this another year. Oh, this is awful. And there are times in our lives when things just don't seem to be going the right way. And a lot of the staff members at the school where I teach are in that bah humbug mode. And it really is a downer. When you have negative people around you, they can really, really kind of put your spirits down. And it's hard to get a little joy back up there when all you hear around you is like, oh, this is so boring. Oh, I can't wait till I go on vacation. I'm just going to sleep in every morning. That's what a lot of folks want to do. And this psalm that was read this morning, and thank you very much, Eric. It's a wonderful psalm. It's really a great psalm to read around this time of the year because I know there are a lot of people that are dealing with depression because things have not gone exactly the way that they had expected in their lives, and there's a sense of loss. But the people that the psalm is talking about also experienced a great time of loss. This psalm was written after the Hebrew people had come out of exile and finally, after all these years, were allowed to come back to their own homes. And can you imagine the joy it was for them? How happy they were? It's like, oh God, you know, we were not quite sure that, you know, whether or not you were abandoning us. And now we're planting seeds in our own fields. And to watch them rise up and think, wow, this is so neat. We are so happy. We just thank you so much. And we know that you have worked miracles for our people. And other people are aware of it as well. And we are truly, truly grateful. I wish everyone here today could say the same thing. I woke up this morning. I was able to come to church. I'm around people that care about me. And what a glorious day it is.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, it is a glorious day. I often find my spiritual nurture.
Just turn it
on.
Is it mine?
Yeah. No.
Just turn the whole system on.
In Facebook of all places. Come on, be honest. How many people here are on Facebook sometimes?
That's good.
And I have a phone, yeah.
You have a phone, right? Oh yeah, what do you do?
No, I don't have one right now.
Well, some of us on this belly, raise your hand. I've seen you on Facebook. Yes. Some people won't admit it. Oh, I know you are. I know you are, right? But I want to share something with you that I found on Facebook that was so meaningful. And it just goes along with this psalm that was read today. And it was a video. And it was a homeless man. And you know how some people have stereotypes of those who are homeless? Oh, they're homeless because they're a bunch of bums and they don't want to work. And they probably have alcohol problems and mental problems. And, you know, we just don't want to have to deal with them. Well, what it was a video of a homeless man, and another young man came up to him and handed him a $100 bill. Now that's a lot of money, right, when you're homeless? And so it was assumed that the guy would probably grab the money and go and buy alcohol with it. Okay, that was sort of an assumption. So it shows this man going into a liquor store, because that's the closest store there was. And so he was there for quite a while, loading up with a whole bunch of stuff, because he had $100, right? And then he came out of the store, and what did he do? He went to a park where there were some other homeless people, and he was giving them food, because even in liquor stores you can get food, right? And so there he was, taking all that money that had been given to him and not having it for himself, but giving food to all these people in the park. Well, the young man who had given him the $100 said, "You probably don't realize this, but I was following you. I had my camera on you. And when I saw you walk into that liquor store, I just assumed that you were going to really have a great time that day and just drink yourself silly." But he didn't. He shared. And then he asked him about his story. What happened? And so what he told him is that he had a job, like most other people do, that are in the working ages, and his parents became sick. First it was his father, and then his mother. And he quit his job so that he could take care of his father. And then his father died, and then his mother was really, really ill, so he was taking care of her. And then she passed away. And then there's no income or anything, so he had to leave the condo that they were living in, and now he was homeless and he was on the street. And he was going to be looking for another job, but in the meantime, he was just living there, you know, hand to mouth with donations that people would give him. But the young man that had given him the money was so shocked by the way in which he utilized the money. And he said, "I want to give you some more money, but I want you to have this for yourself." So he hands him another $100 bill so that he can also get some food for himself.
Wow.
And I know that we so often make assumptions about people. We judge them before we get to know them.
Yeah.
And this was an example of somebody who was really down on his luck. But it's like God was there answering his prayers through another human being. And that's so often the way in which we have our prayers answered. We don't recognize it. You know, things are not going well. We may have experienced loss in our lives. And then something happens through another human being. And we don't see that it really came from God. God is often, or the Spirit of God that kind of like whispers in your ear and tells you which way to turn, is really the one responsible for giving you the idea to get up and do something for another person. And rather than having this attitude, and maybe things are tough, and maybe you are having a lot of problems. We all have problems, don't we? That there's someone in your life, whether you know them well or they're just an acquaintance, will do something really wonderful for you. And start seeing that as an act of God working through them. We are all blessed, especially that we came here today. We're praying with each other, we're caring for each other, and we're a community that truly loves Christ. As we await the coming of the Christ child, let that child be inside us. Let us think about what he taught us, how he modeled a form of behavior that truly will bring peace to the world. May there be a little joy in our lives. Maybe just as we're eating together in the far side room, by the way, we will just give each other a big hug and say, I am so glad you're here, and I'm so glad that you're a part of my life. The psalmist taught us, didn't he, that things can be tough for a long, long time. And when the folks from Israel came back and were able to return to their homes and their vineyards and their farms, that they could plant seed in their own plots, and watching them grow was such an amazing thing, and so truly appreciated, that they could truly sing with great joy.